Welcome back to Auto Gear Reviews, my friends. Today we are once again proudly sponsored by DDPAI, creators of a large number of differently priced and differently positioned on the market dash cameras. My camera is already out of the box and I'm going to be showing to you everything about its installation, but this is DDPAI Z60, the dual channel set. This camera is really phenomenal in its own way in terms of flexibility of its installation, performance, as well as how it can be bound into up to 3 channels. So I'll tell you all about this today, and obviously I'm inviting you to straight away check out the links in the description of this video that will take you to DDPAI website with some applied discounts. Those discounts expire periodically, which is why it depends on when you're watching this video. I recommend that you check out the link as soon as this video is published so that you don't miss out. Let's talk about DDPAI Z60. So I have done an installation that I'm demonstrating to you here, an overlay of the screen, and I've done several installations of DDPAI cameras. I've done installation of their DDPAI N5 dual camera not a long time ago, and I've reviewed that on my channel. You can check that video. Now I've done this one, and I've also done its little brother, the DDPAI Mini 2X, which will be mentioned in this context as well just in a moment. Because, believe it or not, this 4K camera is like this chunky, nice camera that you put obviously facing forward onto your windscreen of your car, and it is the first channel. It's the one that is filming forward in the highest resolution possible, with some extra technology to assist you with that highest resolution possible. But at the same time, the camera is supplied, unsurprisingly these days, with a long extension cable that gives you also access to a small, kind of very plastic in the hand it feels, 1080p rear view camera. So if you want to use the also supplied prying rod, this little tool that allows you to run the wire along the car to the tailgate window and place the rear view camera somewhere there, you can absolutely do it just with this base dual channel set, the one that I'm reviewing for you today. However, DDPAI is so smart, like basically the technology that they're using is also allowing you with extra appendages, with extra accessories, to bind a third camera into this slot, okay? And that camera, it can also be used as a standalone camera. It's called DDPAI Mini 2X. It's a very inexpensive camera of high performance. The closest comparison I can give you on the spot here is Viofo VS1. If you also check that video review on my channel, might be a good idea to give yourself a little bit of a teaser, a bit of a pre-taste. We will have a separate review of Mini 2X because it's a fascinating camera in itself. Very capable, very inexpensive. But here in this context, I'm quickly mentioning it because DDPAI allows us to bind that third camera as a third channel, contributing to this Z60 knot of cameras, if you like. So if you're serious into Uber driving, into some kind of car share services, into taxi driving, basically if you need to monitor what's happening in front, at the back, and probably inside of your car as well, I think something like these 3-channel capable cameras such as DDPAI N5 Dual, DDPAI Z60, this one, that's probably a very good idea for you to take a very close look into that. And at the very least, even if you're getting something like DDPAI Z60, I would say at the very least get yourself so-called a platform that allows for that expansion into the third channel if you like. This is probably the best pitch I can give you within the first 4 minutes of this video. Now let's take a little bit of a closer look at what else are the specs of the camera and how it, most importantly, specs are one thing, but how does it feel once you install it and everything? Well, first of all, installation itself. Installation is standard. You seriously run a power cable, which I already had pre-installed in my car. I didn't have to run it fresh, but you might need to. You run the cable from your 12-volt cigarette lighter around the windscreen to where you're planning to place your car, unless you have one of those vehicles that are providing you a USB-A power output somewhere up kind of in the top area of the windscreen, because they know you will be installing a dash camera. I wish more car manufacturers were thinking about that. We wouldn't need to run as many wires then, okay? So 4K resolution, let's take a look at this. I'm showing it to you on the screen in different lighting conditions. I have not yet done nighttime footage, and I haven't done it for several reasons. First of all, I wanted to deliver this first impressions installation video to you ASAP, and also it would give me an excuse to come back and review and compare the nighttime footage of these cameras. So stay tuned for that, and if you're not subscribed, that's one reason to subscribe for sure. But I've tested the camera in full broad daylight as well as low light conditions, kind of before the sun sets. So it's still light, but the sun is already setting. So in my humble opinion, and we all perceive color and light very differently to each other, so tell me in the comments down below, do you like this? Do you like some other cameras more? But to me, this looks a little bleached in places, like the picture looks a bit bleached, but at the same time, it still captures a lot of light. And that is, I think, due to its built-in NightVis 2.0 technology with a special lens that does obviously wonders, at the very least on paper. It's supposed to in the night time. The test that I just promised to you, and it's on me. I will deliver it to you later. So it is supposed to capture as much light. That's how it would create some kind of visibility in the nighttime, right? But at the same time, I think it is somewhat tiny bit, one could say, counterproductive in the broad daylight because it bleaches out the picture somewhat. Colors are in places a little bit oversaturated in my humble opinion, but that again is a matter of perception. And let's not forget, you're not filming movies on these cameras. You are using these cameras for safety purposes. So the clarity of the picture, being able to have a footage of a car in front of you or something else, right? And then being able to pause upon reflection when you are investigating certain, hopefully not accident that I hope never happens to you. But if you're investigating something, the more pixels there, the more visual data is there captured by that camera and by that high sensor, the better for you. That is why you're paying for a 4K and not for something else, in case you're wondering. I myself said on many occasions that I think for casual day-to-day driving, 2K should be more than enough. But that is where 4K, well, 4K is 4K. 4K is better. All right, so the camera can run in 3 different modes, essentially, other than just when you're driving. So when you park, if you hardwired the camera, if you use the hardwired kit, which is enclosed as well, you can run it in a 1-channel, low-power time-lapse. This is a special proprietary technology of DDPAI, the one that is apparently is a security kind of field technology that is consuming very, very little power, apparently, of your hardwired battery in order to power that device. So it can run constantly in a low-powered support time-lapse mode on 1 channel for 8 days, they say. 8 days, until I presume the battery runs flat or the camera says, no thank you, I've taken enough energy from you, I still want you to be able to drive the car. I hope it's smart enough to tap out at some point. 2 channels, front and back, can do the same thing in time-lapse, apparently up to 2 days, which is also quite impressive. Yeah, just if the car is standing there parked and you're somewhere else completely. But my favorite one here is the 2-channel collision wake up mode. So it means that if it's hardwired, the kind of geo sensors, yeah, in the camera are going to wake it up, and within 1 second apparently of waking up, it starts recording. If somebody collided with your car as it was parked out there in the street where I park my car, for example, and someone just ran into it. So the camera will wake up and it will start filming. That is cool. That is cool, okay? So apparently it can also last, thanks to this power saving technology, up to 20 days in stand-up mode. 20 days. That's a lot, my friends. I've already mentioned NightVis 2.0 technology, which apparently is supposed to produce very good footage. So we're going to take a look at that. Camera can be controlled through the 4 buttons that are on the body of the camera. I found them a little bit rigid, but it's all very solidly built. So I guess rigidity comes from the fact that it's very solid. It's not flimsy in any way. And the screen, the 3-inch screen that is there, that's mentioned as one of the features of the camera on the website, look, it's nothing to write home about. It's just a screen. It shows you a preview. It can let you kind of go through the menus that you would expect from an action camera. If you ever had an action camera and never had a dash cam like this, it's kind of very, very similar experience, and it's not a touch screen. It's not a touch screen. It is, you use those buttons in a slightly clunky way, personally, because we use touch screens everywhere now, so this appears to be a bit clunky, but it's by design to navigate around the menu, confirm, make selections and stuff like that. Cool thing is that this camera has dual storage, so it has 32 gigabytes of internal storage built in, and then obviously a card slot for micro SD card, up to 512 gigabytes of extension of memory. So if you run out of memory, if something else happens, your micro SD fails, it automatically switches and starts recording onto 32 gigabytes of built-in memory. I think not every camera has it, not every dash cam. The fact that this one has it is awesome. I think it's awesome. There are a bunch of other things, technical specifications that you're most welcome to read into if you are more into that as opposed to usability stuff that I usually test. But another thing, the last thing that is worth mentioning is that it has built-in GPS tracking, and apparently it's quite accurate as well. It shows to you the speed of recording of your vehicle, pretty accurate, to be honest with you, as well as your geographic positioning in case you ever needed to prove it or your car got stolen or something else. I don't know. What do I think in general? Listen, I review a lot of dash cams and I review in this casual, kind of everyday, average Joe style. I don't particularly read through the instructions. I pay attention to how easy it is to connect to the camera, how easy it is to install it. Installation-wise, very easy. You put the sticky electrostatic sticker on your windscreen, you place the camera on top of it, you peel off the 3M sticky film, yeah, you stick it there, it's there. It's awesome. Before you do it, obviously make sure that you're happy with the placement, otherwise it would be hard to take it off. The angle of the camera itself, of the camera lens, is adjustable a little bit here in that chunky body of the camera, and as you can see in the test installation, I have not installed a rear view camera. I do it sometimes. I think I've done it with the dual N5 dual when I was testing it, but I didn't bother this time around. Once again, slightly pressed for time, also was just curious and keen to deliver this product review to you, my friends. Again, is it my favorite combination of the colors as far as how the camera captures colors on the screen and how saturated it is with light? No, I actually would not lie to you. I would not say that this is my favorite, but I think as far as quality of the image and my ability to zoom in, check the number plates on the cars, assess the width of the filming, kind of the angle at which the camera is able to capture the vehicles and people on the sides of the roads and stuff. I'm happy with this. I think it's cool. And I also think, once again, as a wrap up of this video, I think videos like this and reviews like this, good products like this, they deserve a longer term review. So treat this as a first impressions kind of specifications check, first impressions from installation review. I'm happy with it. DDPAI app, mobile app that you can control the settings through. It allows you to turn off all the audible things, like if you don't like, for example, that hello DDPAI as it greets you when you power the camera first, when the vehicle powers up, you can turn that off. You are able to reduce the sensitivity of it taking automatically photos when it thinks that a minor collision happened. It's quite sensitive by default, but you can reduce that sensitivity in the settings of the app. That was a big relief for me, because at first, when on each speed bump it was taking a photo, I was like, that's gonna annoy me. But you can do that. It has voice control. You can say take picture or take photo, and it will take a photo for you. So all the standard things that you expect from a camera. But a longer term review is where it's at, my friends. That's what I'm continue returning to. Nighttime footage is something that I owe you. I will show it to you in the next review, as well as probably compare this to other DDPAI and other products, such as its closest competitor, Viofo. So thank you to DDPAI once again for supplying another wonderful product, Z60, for my review. I hope it kind of piqued your interest a little bit. Check out the link in the description of the video, because discounts are there, and also it will take you to the source. You'll be able to have a closer look at the camera and decide if it's right for you. Best thing, once again, is its extendable architecture. It allows you to connect a lot more sources of that video into the camera at a relatively competitive price as well. But that is subject to the right time. When do you get it? What discount codes do you apply? As it goes with any product that we review here on this channel. I hope you've enjoyed this little review. Give the video a quick like so that I know that you enjoyed it to start with, and also the YouTube algorithm will be able to show it to more people, and the more of us here, the merrier. And I thank you once again, and thanks to DDPAI for sponsoring this video, and I'll talk to you next time about something else valuable automotive electronics related. Goodbye for now.